Hi guys, so we are going to read our last Bob Graham book, okay? So we've read The Silver Button, and I think I have How to Heal a Broken Wing, and then we also have read Let's Get a Pup, Said Kate, that we read yesterday. Our last one is April and Esme, Tooth Fairies. Look how fun this book is. It's shiny. Bob Graham is doing such a cool job with his illustrations that he put a lot of shiny things in here because this story is almost magical. Have you guys ever lost a tooth before? I know a lot of us have lost a lot of teeth. Have you guys lost any teeth since you haven't been in school? This book is about April and Esme, okay? They are both tooth fairies, and they've never exchanged a tooth before. So this is going to be their very first time switching a tooth with a coin. So we're going to see how that goes for them, okay? Hope you are excited. Because Bob Graham, in a couple of his books, remember how he does like a sneak peek page? Like a page that's before we start reading? Look. Okay, he does really pretty illustrations. And then he gets to here. Okay, and I'm going to read this because I think it's kind of important. It says, not so long ago, a tooth fairy took a call on her cell phone. April Underhill here, with one finger in her ear to block the traffic noise and listen. You're his grandma? No, my sister Esme and I don't do tooth visits yet. Our mom and dad always. You want us? We shall be there, I promise. So Grandma called the tooth fairies, and the two sisters were like, well, we don't carry out the tooth. And she said, no, we want you to come. So she said, I promise. Let's see if that has something to do with their book. So right after this page, that's why you really have to pay attention, because sometimes they give you a little sneak peek. And then it's our title page. And now, ooh, do you see this? Can you find their house? It's right by this tree. So little. Okay. Ooh, and look. It's kind of like there's a city back there. Right here. And a busy road. It's kind of like Bob Graham writes a lot about them in cities. Let's see. April Underhill opened the door. A draft slipped through behind her and Esme, making their teeth hanging from the rafters chatter and chime. John Underhill started to speak. April, don't say anything, Daddy, April said. We're collecting a boy's tooth tonight, and I have to write this down. Says Daniel Dangerfield, 3 Cornflower Terrace, Parkville, Milk, Tooth Front, Dog, no cat tonight. So she's making all those lists so that she can be safe. And I wanted to point out something on the first page. It says when she came in and it was windy, it shattered and chattered the teeth hanging down from the rafters. So rafters are these beams that are on top of your ceiling. Does anyone have rafters in their house? Tonight, April, you're only 7, said her dad. And 3/4, April added. I promised. I'm going too, said Esme. So Dad's a little worried. And remember, this is kind of like a comic strip. It tells a story and gets a lot of pictures on a page. Do you think Dad's going to let them go? Oh, look. You and Esme, a tooth in Parkville, said their mother. Faye, darlings, you're too far young. You went by yourself when you were 6, Mommy, said Esme. She balanced a bubble on the end of her finger till it popped. Same age as me, and April's even older. So Mom and Dad don't want to let them go. They keep saying they're too little. Well, that was long ago, said Mom, before the highway came. So I want to go back here to this page that I showed you. A highway is where those big cars go super fast, okay? So it's not just a road, it's called a highway. Sometimes they have 2 or even more lanes where you can drive. So the cars are really fast. So they're really nervous about having the little tooth fairies go. Foxes still chase hares on the hill, and things were different back then. Look, they're flying. Well, some things haven't changed, Mommy. Esme took a sip of her dandelion soup. Children still lose their first teeth, April said. And ducklings still have to take their first swim. Their parents looked at them, startled. Okay, said Dad. You can both go, but take great care of your little sister, April. Yes! Look how big those words are. Look how excited they are. And they're nice and bold. And they have a nice exclamation mark at the end. This is important, April, said Dad. To Daniel, you are a spirit in the air. You are magic. He must never see you. Magic? Me? Said April. Mom found a string bag for the coin going out and the tooth coming back, she said. So they're going to carry this bag and they put a coin in there. So they're going to take the coin to the house. And when they get there to Daniel, they're going to put the coin down and put the tooth in the bag instead. Send me a text if you need to, she added. How do you think Mom and Dad are feeling right now? Maybe a little nervous? This is a big job, huh? Then they lifted off into the night. How do you think it's going to go? The wind took them and shook them, pushed them and pulled them. It shivered down Esme's wing. And rippled through the feathers of a passing owl. There is Cornflower Terrace, shouted April. They dropped through the dark. So they have to find his house now. They see his road. Ooh, okay. I think they found his house. Right onto the doorstep of Daniel's house, they peered underneath. April swallowed. Hold down my wings, Esme. I'll go first. Esme crawled in after her. So they crawled in right underneath the door. Do you remember who called them to go? Do you think we might get to see Grandma who called them? They snuck in to the other side. Where is his room? She whispered. Up there, I think, replied April. Let's follow the toys. This must be him, whispered April. She pulled the note from her pocket. We're at 3 Cornflower Terrace, she said. There's a dog, but no cat. And there's the tooth, cried Esme, shivering with excitement. Can you find the tooth? Let's move. But oh dear, he's put it in the water, said April. She made a decision. I can swim. I'll get it. She squeezed her eyes shut and in a cloud of bubbles went for the bottom. I got it, Esme. I got it. So he put it in a glass of water, so they had to dive into the glass and get his tooth. Shh, hissed Esme, as Daniel Dangerfield stirred and woke up. What was that rule that Dad said? That he can't see them. But now he's awake. What do you think's going to happen? April flew and Esme followed her. Together they pulled Daniel's eyes shut like blinds over windows. For a long time they didn't dare even breathe. He's asleep again, April whispered. But he saw us, Esme whispered back. I'll text Mommy, said April. So they had to pull his eyes down. Let's see. Whisper what? Esme asked as they read her reply. So on the phone, this is what it says. Whisper in his ear, Mommy. So what do you think they're going to whisper? What Daddy told us, that we're spirits. You do it, April, said Esme. Me? I'm soaked. But she leaned into the small dark and whispered, We're spirits in the air, Daniel. You dreamed us. You did not see us. So they're telling him that it was just a dream. Do you think he's going to remember? Goodbye, Daniel Dangerfield. They picked up the tooth and flew down the hall. April, wait, called Esme. It's the sweetest sight. I think it's the grandma. Look. Here's Grandma. April waded waist deep in Grandma's hair, then kissed her on the nose. We did it, Grandma. Our very first tooth, she whispered. No, Esme, we don't take those. We have to go. What do you think Esme wanted to take? Look at what's in her glass. These are called fake teeth or false teeth. So they aren't actual teeth, they're fake. But when you get older, you sometimes lose your teeth. And so then they make fake ones, like dentures, that you can put in so it looks like you have your teeth still. But Esme wanted those. But would those be good for a tooth fairy if they're fake? No. They collected their coats, buttoned them tight, and slipped under the door. Daniel's front tooth swung in its bag as they cleared the chimney and headed for home. So they went out the chimney this time. The wind tumbled them high over the city, up the highways, and set them down. At their own front door, Mom and Dad hugged them till their wings crackled. So it must have been a tight hug, huh? Here's the tooth, Daddy, wrapped in my wet undershirt. You dive for it? Asked Faye. Like a duckling in water, murmured John Underhill proudly. The girls drank hot elderberry juice, and then were hugged some more. Mom hung Daniel's tooth from the rafters. On Saturday, we'll take it to the fairy craft market for everyone to see, Dad promised. So they're going to hang it from those beams on their ceiling that are called rafters. The sun rose, and a blackbird sang outside the window, louder than the distant traffic, as April and Esme fell asleep. So they're going to sleep when the sun's coming up. Daniel Dangerfield woke up to find a coin gleaming by his bedside. A new tooth was already coming in. What dreams had he had? What dreams do you think Daniel had? What do you think it was about? Look, just like the last book we read with the dogs. Okay, it says, out on the highway, a wild hare scampered across 6 lanes of traffic, past an old stump, a tiny house, and up to its time-worn tracks on the hill. Nose twitching, it looked over its shoulder for foxes, then far out to the horizon. The end. So I hope you guys like this book. I'm going to be posting questions. Parents, you can pick and choose which ones you want your kiddos to answer. Some of them might be a little easier for them than some others, so you can kind of make that decision of which one's the best fit for them, or you can have them do them all. Thank you guys so much for listening. We are going to put a poster together next week about Bob Grimm, about what we notice he does sometimes and all the time. So I hope that you've read these with me so that we can have a really good conversation. Okay? Bye, guys.